Today we want to try to get finished up with a screw for the gear puller. As you know, it's made up of 5 different parts. By now, you should have all of those parts and pieces color-coded on the working drawing that you have. That was an assignment that you were supposed to do so that you know all the different sizes to make these parts and pieces up. A lot of the pieces are real simple. A couple of them are just cylinders. This one. So they're really easy to draw and align into place where they need to be. The threaded section, I'd mentioned in class that all we do is take a 6-inch set screw. We draw a block that's the size of the length of the screw, and the squares that are bigger than the size of the screw, and intersect those. So that is actually a solid intersection for the threaded section. And the only two things I think I really needed to show you were this cone, because we don't have the base diameter of the cone, so it's real difficult to use the cone tool to draw that. And also on the end of the knob, there's a cut at 30 degrees. So I just wanted to show you how to complete those two things to make this screw. Now, as far as the knob itself, all that is just a square that's rotated 45 degrees to create that knob on the drawing. So the sizes for that are on the working drawing. And again, I hope you have all those color coded by now, because those parts would be real simple to make. Let's take a look first at creating this cone to the specific size that's on your working drawings. On the working drawings, it tells us that the cone is 3/16 of an inch tall, and it also gives us an angle. The angle that's written on the one print is 60 degrees, because from the center line over to the left here, it's 30 degrees. So an easy way to draw that is to just use the polyline tool and draw in a 3/16 inch line by hitting tab, 3/16, enter, enter. Now this will lock us in. I can see the angle right now is -90 in the data display bar. If I drag this over, I'm at -103.31, but I want to get over to 120 because 90 and 30 is 120. So I'm going to end that right there. Now the reason I did that was just so that I could draw in a small line here, small line here. I'm drawing one more line. And now I've got the work that I need right here to create that cone. All I'm going to do is use the Connect Combine tool. The polyline tool once more to trace my work. Now I've got a profile of what I want to use right there. You probably have a pretty good idea what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to put in a locus point. Let's sweep that. And I've got the cone for my gear puller hook, just like that. That's the correct size, correct angle for this cone right here. So that part's done. Now to the part that's a little more complicated. What I have right here is just one of the knobs drawn. Like I said, it's just an extruded square. I could extrude it in the right or left view and rotate it 45 degrees. But now the challenging part is we need to cut a 30-degree angle onto that piece. So we have to cut that on there. Let's go back to our front view. Take a look at that. To do that, all I've done is produced a cutting tool for the end of that. So these were the dimensions that I used for that. Again, I just used the polyline tool. Again, from the angle right here, 180, 150, because it's 30 degrees up, 60 degrees from vertical. So there's a cutting tool. That's what I'm actually going to use to cut that 30-degree angle onto the end of the screw over here. Now, again, all I did with that, similar to the cone, put in a locus point, swept it, and created that cutting tool right there. Now, this 0.215 is important. I'm going to show you why, but I'm going to go to wireframe to do that. You can see this is just my cutting tool right here. All I'm going to do is rotate that 90 degrees. And I'm going to make a copy of these at this point. Now with those two selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the right view, align them by their center points. Now I'm going to go back to the front view. I'm going to align those on the center and left edge. Now this is where this 0.215 dimension comes in. Because what I'm going to do now is move this blue piece back that distance. You can see now where the 30-degree angle is going to be cut onto the knob of my screw. When I take those two pieces, and I subtract solids, you can see how that cut that 30-degree angle in there and made it look just like it does in the drawing. So that's how we get those parts and pieces finished up for the screw. Hopefully you'll have this all finished by the end of the period. And then once you do, you can go ahead, take all these pieces, add them together, and get a chrome or polished steel texture onto it.